All right, Holly, thank you for that thumbs up so that we are on Facebook Live. I know we don't have a ton of folks on with us today because we've got lots of people testing and participating in spring activities. If you are on with us, you can access the agenda in the chat. So Holly put the link in there so we could all access it. We've got just some things to run through. There's going to be some updates today. And some new things to share. So when we look at the purpose and overview of our Parent Advisory Committee, it really is about ways that as families, you guys can get connected to be able to give recognition to your students. It's the way that you can give input into the local activities and access those parent support things that you need or that you want to request that we gather information for you on. And then again, it's a great way for you to access all of the weekly information that goes out, whether it's the s'more flyers, the emails, find out what's on the website, calendars, all that kind of stuff. We've got all of that available for families so that you have all the information you need to be successful. It's your opportunity also to be involved and to give us as staff guidance on things that you think we need to improve on or that we can do better to help make your homeschooling experience more fruitful. Just know that with the parent handbook, we're working on our revisions for the 24-25 school year. So if you have suggestions, we're happy to take those. And as I go through here, I'll give you a couple different opportunities where you can share those ideas with us. So just keep that in mind as we move through there. As we look at where we're at staffing wise, we've got a few vacancies in our family liaisons. So we have a new family liaison in the Anchorage office. And so we're happy to welcome her with us today. Savannah, would you like to pop in and say hi to everyone?
Hi.
So Savannah has been a huge asset in that Anchorage office, and she did a great job in helping facilitate the play and all that kind of stuff. So we're very happy to have you on board with us, Savannah. Welcome. And then we're in the process. We've got folks that are potentially coming on board in Juneau. And I know that we're going to be beginning a search for the Fairbanks office as well. So if you are from the Fairbanks office and you have an interest in that, please reach out to the staff in the front office there and let them know, and they can keep you informed as to how that's progressing. There's a lot of ways that you can be involved. So as parents, we send out information, like I mentioned earlier, in a bunch of different ways using s'more flyers, regular emails from the office staff and from your advisory teacher. Most of the offices have a calendar. There we have the website. We've got Raven's Call, which goes out quarterly. In addition to that, we have private Facebook groups for each one of our offices. And then, like, if you joined us early, you heard Holly and I talking about our Raven-wide Facebook page, which we've got some work to do there. So that'll keep us busy for a little bit. Additionally, we have student activities and workshops at each one of the offices. Again, this is the time of year where we want to hear from parents as to what you would like to see in the coming year. The same goes for any parent trainings and workshops that you might like to see. We will be sending out before the end of April our program growth and development survey. So please be on the lookout for those. They'll come out in a s'more flyer with the links initially from me, and then each one of the offices will add that link to their s'more flyer so that you have access to do that. We do have some new questions on there, so please take a moment to read through it and give us your honest feedback. It's the only way we can build this program to better meet your needs. Again, ideas for field trips, both in-person and online ones that we can begin scheduling for the coming year. That's great information for us to have. And you always have access as parents to be able to give us feedback on the front bottom right of the website. There's a program improvement and comments site there where you can hop in and always give us feedback that way. And you have the choice when you click into that to either leave it anonymously or to attach your name to it. It's your choice. You can give it to us either way. The surveys are all anonymous unless you choose to put your name in those. Some of the things that we will be continuing in the coming year is our student ID cards. Again, those are just pictures from the shoulders up. Ms. Holly is the one who processes those, so we get those pictures to her, she'll process it, and then she'll mail it right to you. We have parent teacher cards. Again, this is an opportunity for you to save dollars as you're shopping for school supplies. We are a member of the Fred Meyer Community Rewards Program. We do scholastic book fairs. Some of our sites do the electronic box tops. So we've got those now. You don't no longer have to cut all those little paper squares, which is a good thing. Additionally, you're going to see a s'more flyer come out in the next week or so for our new Raven store. We've had a lot of parents ask us for Raven hoodies or Raven t-shirts or anything that's got the Raven logo on it, sweatshirts for their graduates and things like that. So we have a new Raven store. We've got all the directions laid out step by step for you as parents. The wonderful aspect of this is that you as parents get to go in and choose what you would like, and it will be shipped directly to you. The reason we haven't sent it out yet is we are actually working on a way for parents to have options for a portion of their allotment to be used so that they can purchase Raven gear, because we know so many of you participate in different activities and you represent Raven well in those activities. So we want to make sure you have that gear to be able to do so. There's a lot more choices. So as you go in and explore, you might want to, your first time in there, you might want to just go exploring to see what all is available. Additionally, we're coming up on our May school board meeting, and this is our final opportunity to submit Raven students for board recognition. So if you have a student that has been doing wonderful and fabulous work this year and you'd like us to submit their name for school board recognition, please get that to your local office and then they'll get that submission. And that submission requires a photograph and a brief write-up. It doesn't have to be super lengthy. It just has to clearly identify what you want to recognize them for. And then, of course, our local offices, they're always happy to take and recognize your students in the things that they're doing as well, and to hang artwork. And if you need somebody to listen to a speech, they're happy to be that audience for you. So just take a look and see what you might like to do. We'll have one more edition of Raven's Call coming out, and that again is another opportunity for parents to highlight the work that their students have been doing. And just before our meeting today, I emailed out again the Raven scholarship application, because we have 6 great scholarships to give out, but we don't have 6 applicants yet. So we need, in the closing date for that is April 15th. So we need our high school seniors to put those applications together and get them submitted. And if your high school senior is a little timid about doing that little writing project, they have advisory teachers and they're super happy to help with that part of the process. The other thing too is once they do that little write-up, they can use it for scholarship applications and all kinds of other things where it'll be useful and handy. So we really want to encourage people to do that, so we have an opportunity to give those scholarships away as part of graduation. A little bit of an update on some of the grant work that we're doing. This is the last year of our Rising Up grant. And so as part of that grant, some of the work that we've been doing is that we're working on a new student information system. And it's got an integrated parent portal, and it allows for a single point sign-on, so parents don't have to log into a bunch of different things. Additionally, students won't have to log into a bunch of different things, even if they're using different platforms for instruction. So we'll have all that in a single sign-on place, and it's mobile friendly. For those of you that are always on the go with your children, you'll be able to get information from that system while you're on the go. The other piece that's really nice about that is for parents, you get the opportunity to set up how you would like that communication to come to you. So if you want to always get your communication as a text message on your phone, you can choose that. If you want it to come to your phone and your email, you can do that. If you want it to come to your email and clutter your husband's email, that's what happens at my house. You can do that too, because you get the opportunity to put a second email address in there. Along with this project, we are also working on updating the website. So you're going to see changes in the website and the functionality of the website as we move forward with these final projects. So again, if you have feedback, we're happy to take that, because as we build these projects, it's great to be able to incorporate what parents see will work best for them. Knowing that we can't include everything, but we can get the majority of things. So. And then for the Maxis grant, which is our math grant that we've been working on, math and computer science, Juneau just did their math camp. Holly, do you want to, oh, she's got a student there. I was going to say, does she want to give us an update? Because it was fabulous from what I heard. And then next on the list for our math camp is going to be the Delta office. And then we'll have 2 more offices next year that will get to have math camps as well. So maybe when Holly's off the phone, we'll back up and ask her to give us a quick update on that. This is the time of year, most of you guys already know that we're doing state standardized testing. So thank you for families that have participated. For those families that have chosen not to participate, I just want everybody to know that if you need data on where your student is, we have other opportunities for assessment that you can use that are not state mandated, they're not state tracked. So if you have an interest in that, please just reach out to your advisory teacher and they can help you get connected with one of those other assessments. Holly, would you like to give us an update on your math camp? Just a minute.
I can do that, but I've got somebody on the phone here standing right next to me talking. So keep doing one more thing and then I'll do it.
Okay. I couldn't tell if you were all the way done yet or not.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had
okay,
a mom,
awesome.
a mom on the phone with a kid for testing being done. So, I would love to give an update about how our camp went last week. It was so much fun. We had 50 people here between kids and parents who stayed and participated, and the teachers and all of that, from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. And then we had some high school helpers also that were participating and assisting in each of the groups. And it was just a blast. The kids got to take home little brag tags each day for the different sessions that they were doing. There were computer science ones, there were math ones. We had an overall one, which I thought I had a sample of here at my desk. Oh, here it is. I can show you thank you. The overall little brag tag that they got for everybody who came during the week. And it was really fun with a little rocket ship and such. So the kids got to collect those at each of the different sessions that they attended. And now they're continuing to add other brag tags to their bling with testing, with accelerated reader, with all kinds of other fun stuff. They're starting to get their collection to increase. And I heard great feedback from the kids on each of the different sections. They were not as excited about math because math. But afterward, that it was all hands-on, and they were making shapes and doing these different things. And the teacher was fun because at the end she said, I think they were all very surprised that math is not just about numbers. So it was fun to get that feedback and see, and all the kids had such a good time with the computer science, and they were driving spheros around, and they were programming stuff. Some of them were showing me their typing speed and look what I can do, and typing and making different things happen on their screen and coding all kinds of different stuff. So we decided, with how much fun the kids were having with all of that, that for April, for our Marvelous Mondays, we're continuing the coding adventure and doing more extensions of that here at our office, just because they had such a great time. On the last day, one of the kids came up to me and said, "We're doing this again next week, right?" No, this was special. This was a big 3-day, all day, thing. So, but it was cute to see that, they're like, we're doing this more, right? And, they just had a great time. Everybody had smiles on their faces and had an awesome time. Even the little kids who we organized some other special stuff for. We had a teacher from UAF that came down along with those specifically for the camp. He was here for some other recruiting and stuff, but he did sessions for us for the little kids for the K through second grade, and stuff about light and electricity and sound and all kinds of really cool things. And the older kids were pretty jealous that they didn't get to do it. And on the last day, he had this glow in the dark paint makeup that he starts out by, like doing stuff on his face. And he's like, what do you think? Is my makeup making me look pretty? And they're like, you can't see anything. And makeup's not for guys anyway. So then he goes on and on and on. And by the end, then he pulls out a black light and shines it on his face. And he's like, his eyelids are glowing and his lips are glowing and all this stuff. And the kids are just like, oh. So then he let them put on some of his makeup, and then they were all glowing, and we got some great pictures. All the kids got to traipse into the bathroom when we shut off the lights, and they looked at themselves in the mirror and everything, and they're like, oh, I look so scary. So all the ages from little up to the big kids had a great time, and I'm really glad and thankful that we were able to have the grant and to do that, to put it together. It'd be cool to do more things like it, because we had just great feedback, and it was a lot of work to put together and do it all, but so worth it. And I'm excited for Delta to get it next, and then the other offices next year, so that we can just keep growing on that and expanding. And we had perfect attendance the whole week, so everybody liked it enough to keep coming.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Holly.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll have to look at what else we need to do. And if that's something that your office is looking at continuing and you need more resources, that's also something we can look at. Because I know that each one of the offices has a limited resource when it comes to the Ozobots and the Spheros. So, but thank you for that. That was an awesome report. So Delta, you got lots to look forward to when it's your turn in a few weeks. The other thing that I wanted to highlight is I know that we have many seniors that are just completing all their requirements for graduation. And if you have a senior that is trying to put all their pieces together to get that Alaska Performance Scholarship, the one piece that is most critical that we are often missing are your SAT or ACT or your work keys scores. So if you have a student that took the SAT, the ACT, or the work keys, and you have not turned in your scores, please get those turned in either to your advisory teacher or to the counselor, and they'll make sure that those get entered in the system so that we can correctly code those students for accessing that, meeting the requirements for the Alaska Performance Scholarship. Secondary to that, if you have not completed your FAFSA form, that is also a requirement of participating in the Alaska Performance Scholarship, along with many of the different entry requirements for both colleges and for career and tech ed schools. So if you haven't done that FAFSA, just know, parents, you'll have to help your students with the FAFSA. There's a process for you to get your account set up and your passwords and all of that. And please make sure you write them down and put them in a safe place, because you'll need them each year as you move forward through that process with your students. Those are the two big things for our graduates. Also cap and gowns. If you have not submitted your cap and gown request, please do that right away, because I know most of the offices are either finalizing those orders or they have already finalized those orders. So really important pieces for our seniors to get finished. And if you're not on track for getting your work done by May 1st, it's time to put it in gear and get going, because that deadline for May 1st is fast approaching. Let's talk a little bit more about assessment. Like I mentioned earlier, this is where everybody's working on their AK Star and their AK Science. If you're a parent that would like some of the reports from assessment, but you don't want to participate in those state mandated assessments, please reach out to your advisory teacher, because we do have other things. We have both they have a similar name, so don't be confused by that, but we have both Star Reading and Star Math. We also have some resources in IXL that can help with that as well. So whether you're looking for reading or math, we can get you additional information that will help you with your planning for the next school year if your students participate in those assessments. I know many of you have been asking about last year's AK Star reports. Just know those are supposed to be released here the middle of the month. I can't remember if it's the 17th or the 23rd. I've heard both dates. So it's a little late coming. They have reassured us that the AK Star and AK Science assessment data will come much quicker this year. But again, they haven't given us a specific timeline for this year's data. If you need information for planning purposes, once that testing window closes, then your local office can get you what's called the MAP growth report, and that is separate from the AK Star reporting. So it gives you as parents much more detail as to what will be helpful when you do your ILP planning for the coming year. I already mentioned SAT, ACT, and work keys. If you have a student that's bound for the military and they have to take that ASVAB test, if you need help with practice materials or anything like that, please reach out and let us know. We're happy to get that and help you with that part of the process. This is the time of year that we do a lot of strategic planning for our schools. So if you as you complete those surveys and send that information into us, or you submit it via the website, just know that we use that information as we do our strategic planning for the coming year. Additionally, as a district, as part of a larger district, we participate in the district level strategic planning, and those goals are listed on the agenda. So we have that Start Strong, where we want those pre-K through grade 3 kids to have a really good foundation. We'd like to have them reading by 3rd grade. We know that takes a lot of practice because not all students learn at the same pace. So you heard Holly mention accelerated reader. That is a great way for kids to have lots of access to books, have some incentives, get a little practice with their comprehension and test taking skills. It's really an all-in-one for fun because there's no grade associated with it. And we got lots of little prizes to hand out as part of that. So if you have a struggling reader or a reluctant reader, or even an advanced reader that wants to go and see how many points they can get or how many millions of words they can read, that's a great way to participate there. Mathematics mastery is another area of focus for us. And that's part of the reason why we're having those math and computer science classes, because we're wanting to get kids excited about math, because like Holly said, math is not just about numbers. There's so many fun things you can do with math. Math is everywhere in our world, whether we're looking at shapes, it doesn't matter what we're doing. Math is there everywhere somewhere. So we really want to make sure that we're narrowing our focus just a little bit, because if our students have good skills in reading and good skills in math and good skills in writing, they can be successful in all the other areas. The other things that are on this list is every student graduates college and career ready. So it doesn't matter whether they just want to go straight to work or whether they're going on to college. We want them to be prepared with all the skills necessary to be successful. And the last one that's on here is, it's really important, but it's best done in the home, and that is cultural infusion. You as families have your own culture where you're connected within your own family unit and your family unit as an extended family. And so at Raven, we don't spend a ton of time on that, just because we know that you as parents put forth the effort and that takes place within your home setting. So our primary focus is reading and math and those fun things that get kids engaged in learning. So now's the time I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let you guys ask questions. I'll do my best to answer them. I may or may not have an immediate answer for you, depending on what the question is. So if anybody has questions, even if staff have questions, you guys are welcome to ask them too.
Kim, do you know if we're going to be continuing accelerated reader next year also?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
It has already been renewed.
Excellent. I know I've already got kids that are very excited, and they've been earning their brag tags and such. And I've been posting little signs that show how many words have been read each month, but we're trying to really encourage more to participate. And one of them asked me today, well, when does it end? So I said, well, it just keeps going. So I just want to make sure I told them accurately. It will keep going.
It will keep going. And the goal, hopefully the goal for next year is that not only will each office participate, but we can have a little bit of a competition per se between the offices to see who can read the most millions of words in the school year.
I'm ready. We've already got 526,000 just in March, 351,000 in February, and 628,000 in January when we started. So we've already got over 1 million, or no, that's 1 million, right? Yeah, over 1 million just for our office for the last 3 months. But do the kids' points start over in the new school year, or do they keep building up? Do you know?
And that's a question I don't know the answer to.
This is
so we'll have to find that out.
Yeah, this is my first experience with Accelerated Reader. So I bought some really cool brag tags for the kids, and they've been enjoying. Another one got to get one today because they just passed the next marker where I had a tag for it, but I wasn't sure. We've got some kids who were already up at the 200 point mark for this year, so I didn't know if next year it'll start back over or if they just keep on growing.
Yeah, that's one of the things we have to find out because I don't know the answer to that question.
Awesome.
But I do know that we're looking at keeping the incentives going for that and building upon it, because I know that Accelerated Reader also includes the STAR reading and the STAR math assessment. So that's a great starting point for families to make sure that they're not reading books that are too difficult, but are reading books that are at the right level to be enjoyable but not stressful as they move forward and strengthen their reading skills.
And it's fun because it gives the kids a little rocket ship on their dashboard, and as they read and earn the points and all of that, it kind of progresses across, and it gives an estimate. You can set up how many minutes a day you want to encourage them to be reading, 15, 20, whatever. I think it defaults to 15, and I increased ours to 20 because of the Read with Raven program of, we want to be reading 20 minutes a day. But then the little rocket ship goes across as they do that, and it shows them, where they're at, if they're on track with their goal and that kind of thing too. So it's pretty fun.
Yes, and we're also looking at things that we can do similarly with math. I don't know yet what we're going to do, but I think there's some fun things that we can do there with math facts and things like that, where we can again incentivize that practice, because sometimes the practice gets boring. And we want to make sure that we keep it exciting for kids. Additionally, I know we've got access to the Sora library, which is our digital online library. So there's lots of opportunity to access books, even if you're not located next to a local public library. Additionally, I think one of the things that we need to do, because I've heard from some of our families in the rural areas, that we need to send out the instructions for them to request books by mail from the state library. So I'm working on gathering up that information, because the state library still does mail out books like that, which is a great resource for those folks that live a little bit off the road system and a little further away. Other than that, if there's no questions, then our next PAC meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, May 29th at 2:30. And we'll do the same thing where we record it and live stream it, so that for those folks that are working or have differing schedules, or they've got to have kids at events, you can watch it after the fact. And we just appreciate everybody taking their time to either join us today or watch this later. But please know that it's super important. We are so looking forward to the feedback that you give to us so that we can continue to make Raven better. Additionally, one of the things that you're going to see that's going to come out in a s'more flyer is what is called Padlet. And Padlet has a whole bunch of resources that are available to you as families. And we would love to hear your feedback. That's something new we've been using this year. I know a bunch of the teachers have been sending it out and using it, and we just would love to hear your feedback. We need to know if that was time well spent, or if you need us to make it look differently so it works better for you, because we're looking at this format as a way to have information accessible to parents from our single sign-on in our new student information system as well. So if this works for you, we'd love to hear it. If it doesn't work, we'd love to hear your ideas on how we can make it better so it does work for you. With that, I don't have anything else unless there's anybody else that has questions. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.